So, what if the most famous piece of psychological advice from the last 2 decades, the idea that you can achieve almost anything if you just have a growth mindset, was mathematically proven to only account for like 27% of your success in certain arenas?
Yeah, it's a bit of a reality check, isn't it? I mean, we've all heard the basic premise of Carol Dweck's book, Mindset. It's practically gospel in schools and corporate boardrooms at this point.
Right, exactly. So just a quick refresher for you listening. Believing your abilities are malleable, that growth mindset builds resilience,
Mhm.
while believing your abilities are locked in at birth, a fixed mindset creates a fear of failure.
Right. And our mission for today's deep dive is to basically peel back the marketing hype around this book. We want to critically analyze what the science actually supports and, where it ventures into pure speculation.
Yeah, because the loudest claim in the book is that mindset dictates success. Like, it points to Muhammad Ali dominating Sonny Liston and argues Ali didn't win on physical strength but through mental dominance and studying his opponent.
Yeah, but looking at the text, it almost treats life like a video game.
Oh, totally. It implies that just grinding away with pure effort automatically guarantees you're going to, level up to absolute greatness.
Well, there is actually a biological mechanism driving that effort, which the book does get right. When you adopt a growth mindset, you activate the brain's error adaptation loops.
Wait, error adaptation loops.
Yeah, so think of the anterior cingulate cortex as your brain's error detector, and your prefrontal cortex as the problem solver. A growth mindset physically strengthens the connection between those two areas.
Oh, wow. So you literally process your mistakes better.
Exactly. You adjust your strategies faster so the brain chemistry is real.
Okay, but the book kind of extrapolates that biological spark into a blazing fire, right? It suggests mindset conquers all. Critics consistently point out what I like to call the 5-foot Michael Jordan flaw.
The 5-foot Michael Jordan flaw. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, because you can have the most connected prefrontal cortex on Earth, but immense effort cannot overcome absolute physical or, systemic limitations. Jordan isn't an NBA legend if he's 5 feet tall.
Exactly. The danger arises when the text assumes you can reduce complex multivariable outcomes entirely to a single psychological trait. It takes historical events and really shoehorns them to fit the theory.
Yeah, the Enron example jumped right out at me.
Oh, the Jeff Skilling comparison.
Yes. The book compares Enron CEO Jeff Skilling to growth mindset leaders. It argues that Enron's total collapse was due to Skilling's fixed mindset arrogance and the resulting corporate groupthink.
Which is a huge leap.
Right. Isn't that completely waving away the massive systemic financial fraud just to make a neat psychological point?
It's a highly flawed comparison, and we see the exact same logical gap in the sports examples. The text compares the fear-based coaching of Bobby Knight to the effort-based growth coaching of John Wooden.
Right, with the conclusion being that growth coaching wins championships.
Exactly, but that completely ignores the reality of college athletics. Wooden was coaching at UCLA, practically printing championships because he was attracting the absolute best high school athletes in the country.
Yeah, to attribute his success entirely to a growth mindset, without controlling for massive disparities in baseline talent and recruitment, is just a huge analytical blind spot.
And if we aren't careful with these blind spots, the takeaway just becomes, well, praise effort at all costs.
Which is my biggest concern. If I'm just praising someone's mediocre effort when they aren't actually improving, aren't I just handing out participation trophies? It creates this illusion of progress.
Right, and Dweck herself actually recognized this flaw. She later introduced the concept of the false growth mindset to walk back some of those initial interpretations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she clarified that praising effort without actual learning or without seeking new strategies is highly misleading. Effort is just the vehicle. Actual learning is the destination.
Let's look at the actual math on this, because researchers did an athletic mindset study to see how much this genuinely moves the needle.
The 27% study.
Right. They found that having a high growth and low fixed mindset explains about 27% of the variance in sports performance, mostly because those athletes develop better coping skills.
And 27% is absolutely statistically significant. If you can improve your performance by a quarter just by shifting your perspective, you should.
Of course.
But mathematically, that proves mindset is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. It is not the universal guarantee of success the book implies. Furthermore, that same study found people naturally hold both mindsets simultaneously.
Wait, both at the same time.
Yeah, depending on the context. You might have a growth mindset about your golf swing, but a fixed mindset about your math skills.
Which completely contradicts the strict either-or binary the book sets up. You aren't just one or the other.
Exactly. So, evaluating the text as a whole, the core message of mindset is undeniably strong when it comes to building resilience and embracing challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
But its presentation becomes heavily speculative when it positions mindset as a universal cure-all.
So the realistic takeaway for you listening is that effort is absolutely essential, but it only works when paired with valid strategies and a brutally honest assessment of your real-world limits.
Which leaves a pretty tough question to chew on.
Yeah. If you are placed in an environment with insurmountable systemic barriers, at what point does having a growth mindset cross the line into toxic positivity?